Hello everyone, I'm Chris with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to On Any Motor Power Sports, because we're gonna ride that guy. It's a new Monster. I've never ridden the new Monster. I know Bill has, and he's got his opinions, and there's the video, and I'll link that down below. But I never have, so I'm gonna ride it, see what I think about it, and then the next video, so yes, 3 videos in total, we're gonna do a comparison to that guy and that guy, the 210 660 and the Monster. And I know you might be like, hey, they're not on the same plane. They're closer than you might think. So before we do that, let's go for a ride. If you're new to the channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, definitely leave some comments down below. We're gonna have some fun. All right, we got a Ducati Monster Plus, whatever. It's in aviation gray. I think it looks pretty sick. Love the wheels, love the matte color. It's like 937cc. It's around 380 pounds wet, or 366 dry is what they say. 111 horsepower and like 69 pound-feet of torque. So nothing to blow your socks off, but we're gonna see what it's like. Let's start it. It's cute. I've never been the biggest fan of Monsters, but I will try to not let my own biases get in the way of that. Right off the bat, the seating position of this Monster just kind of sits you down in the bike, and it kind of just feels like you can wrap around the bike. The Monster feels really freaking narrow and small, and I kind of like that, you know, for what it's supposed to be. It says light, agile, and just from sitting in it, it feels light. And we're going to find out about the agile here in a minute. But the seating position is comfortable. Another thing I'll note is I wish there was more real estate to scoot back. There's more than other bikes, which we'll get into in the third video to come, because I'm comparing this with another bike. But the seating itself is actually really soft and comfortable. The bars are in a nice position. It's a really comfortable ride. Whereas the Monsters of old, like the 1200 and stuff, I felt like they had an identity crisis. They were a little too far forward. They kind of had a rake to it like this. And they just, I don't know, they try to be more aggressive, and they weren't really that type of bike. This is a little more subdued. Some may not like that fact, but in the range of Ducati, this sits aggressively, stance-wise, lower than a Street Fighter. The Street Fighter is a little more aggressive, a little more sporty in a sense than what this would be. However, this feels hundreds of pounds lighter than the Street Fighter does, even a V2. Even though it's like a 937 versus a 959 motor, it's like, it's such a minuscule difference in motor size. But this is just it's, I think, an overall smaller package. At least it feels that way.
That's what she said.
Oh man, the torque. Thing's got lovely torque. This thing is such a fun, playful character to the motor. It's just, it's like, it kind of hits you. This 69 pound-feet of torque, it doesn't sound like a lot, you know, coming from the R with like 80, or V4 with like 92 or so, but it's nice. Quick shifter, solid, very solid. What do you want to bet that person has a beanie on right now? Oh, the noise. So as I mentioned, the seat, yeah, as you accelerate and it pulls you backwards, the seat digs into your butt bone. It is very uncomfortable, and I don't mean the seat, the stop pad back here. It digs into your butt bone because there's not a lot of real estate to go back. So we have different riding modes here. You hold down this little button as I put to the stop sign. You got sport, touring, urban. We're going to stay in sport. because I am a sport. All right, let's go. I will say the torque is honestly one of the most standout things immediately for me about this Monster. Is it's enough to be playful, it's enough to actually surprise you, and it definitely helps you come out of corners, and we'll definitely see that here in a second. It feels like there's nothing under me. Like, obviously there is, I can feel the heat. That's Ducati, but it's just, it's so light and playful. Well, that's why I have a short wife. She's light and playful. Kind of like this motorcycle. It's light and playful. Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's zero top end. It's like all of the torque and fun is between like 3 to 7,000, and then it just kind of goes, okay, that's all I got. And it just goes, phew. So if you're looking for a top speed bike, this is not it. All right, let's have some fun. You see that instant hit of torque? It's surprising at times. Like I said, it pulls and pulls, and then it kind of gets to that point and it just goes, all right, that's all I got. But it's strong. It's strong to just under just over 7,000 RPM. And again, we're in third gear, so you know, lower. Oh man. I like hitting that little turn right there. It's a good little, I don't say a huge switchback, but it's enough to feel the weight transfer on the bike change directions. Slow down through here because people will pop up over this corner and turn left right in front of you. This is another good one. This is a nice low and then a quick left again. Very nice. Yeah, brakes are good. Brakes have a very good initial bite, and they kind of get stronger. They're a little, I don't want to say hard, but no, they're good. Okay, it was just the way I applied them. They're not the bitiest, but they're very strong and progressive. Kind of like me, I'm very progressively strong. Not really. No, you can lean on them. They're confidence inspiring. You can definitely feel them working, and you can feel safe with them knowing that they're going to stop you, as they should. All right, let's head back. Yeah, let's head back. This part, oh, it just dances. It just freaking dances, ladies and gentlemen. This bike would be a lot of fun on track because it is not that expensive. It's just over 11 grand, or 12 grand I should say, maybe 13, I don't know. I think pretty sure it's around 12, 13 grand. So it's not intimidating by any stretch. It's got gobs of torque, more than enough. Brakes are good, like coming straight out of the package. You wouldn't need to do a lot. Yep, that's why you gotta look left, and he turned out of the wrong spot. And he's not on the right side of the road still. But yeah, it is phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let this guy get down the road. There's bicyclists down there. Oh, okay, let's hop off for a second. Let's look at it, just like I do on all the other rides. This aviation gray Ducati Monster. You know, like I said, I haven't been a huge fan of these Monsters of old. I thought they were in a weird spot and they had an identity crisis. This feels more comfortable, more fun, and just, it kind of just fills that gap if you don't want to go into a V2 Panigale or even the Street Fighter. And it's just as fun. All right, so let's head back down here. See the beautiful scenery as we're coming down. Again, there's a bike guy down here. And yeah, let's have some fun through the road. I know there'll be a bicyclist somewhere. Again, the torque is my parting piece of this bike, this Monster. It's enough, you know. I don't have any better way to explain it than it's the perfect amount where it's not scary. It can surprise you, but it's by no means intimidating. This is one of those bikes that you can, because there's not a lot of top speed, it's a momentum bike, and when you carry that momentum and you stay in that rev range, this bike is freaking phenomenal. It is a lot of fun to ride, and I quite enjoy it. So as we kind of calm it down here and we get behind a car that's following a bicyclist, what are my thoughts? So let's start with the negative. The seat, again, there's just not a lot of space to scoot back, and you notice it when there's a lot of torque and you kind of scoot back and there's this hard thing your tailbone hits on, and it's really frustrating and it's just not fun. So that is not a pleasant treat. The mirrors, it vibrate, they work kind of, but that's typical Ducati. It doesn't have some of the features like cruise control that its competitors do have. Would be nice on a bike like this, having cruise control, because I can see people wanting to do longer rides with this bike, especially even commuting to and from work, because it's such a narrow machine. It gets hot. It's Ducati, go figure. That's really it as far as my negatives go. Positives: quick shifter, beautiful, quick, comfortable. It feels good. You can feel the mechanical engagement and disengagement, and I like that. There is a little jerkiness. Again, this is kind of a new bike. I think it's got 180 miles on it. It's not fully broken in. Those shifts will smooth out a little bit. The brakes are strong. They're not incredibly bitey initially, but they have a good power initially, and then they progressively get better. It changes directions so nicely. It feels so light and nimble, and just like a twinkle toes on its feet, on its tires. Fantastic. It gives me a smile. Like, I'm smiling right now because it is just a really fun bike. It loves to lean over. And lastly, god damn it, I hit the wrong button. The torque. My god, the torque is mwah, chef's kiss. It's not too much, it's not too little. It's that Goldilocks thing, man. It is so perfect to feel 69 pound-feet of torque. Apparently, not only is it a great number, it's also a great number for torque, because at this weight, again, I believe weight is probably under 400 pounds, and with the horsepower being just over 111, or around 111, it's a really great overall package. It's comfortable. You can ride this bike for hours. Well, I wouldn't say hours, because you'll need to stop and fill up, because it's a Ducati. Plus, there's also a freaking fuel gauge. Imagine that. I'm not sure how this compares and contrasts to Bill's experience with this. Definitely watch his video, because it's perspectives, you know. There's expectations going in. I didn't like Monsters to begin with, and this bike actually sort of changed my mind a little bit. I quite find this bike very enjoyable to ride. I don't believe his was quite as positive. I didn't really want to get into the subjectiveness of the looks. I don't think it looks like a Ducati. This is me personally. Take that with what you will. The trellis frame, it's always been iconic to these Monsters. That's gone. Again, take that as well. But as an overall package of a machine and the competitors that it rivals, you know, it's a lot of fun.
It's a very strong machine, and again, I think this would be fantastic on track. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and it wouldn't be intimidating to use out there. But those are my thoughts. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Coming up next, the third video of this group of videos, as you've watched my 210 660 factory review, now the Monster, and now you'll see the comparison between the two. Yes, they are comparable. So with that, I'll catch you on the next video.